Welcome, my friend, to Next Level Change Success. I'm Therese Perez, a change strategist and practitioner with over 20 years of experience designing and delivering impactful change programs across various industries. In this podcast, I share real-world practical strategies to help you create and deliver positive change experiences, whether you're a leader, practitioner, or someone looking to bring new ways of working to life. In today's fast-paced world, change is constant. Here we focus on how you can put people at the centre of your change strategy, because people with a sense of purpose are the most important link in driving performance. So if you're ready to create meaningful change and achieve all the success that comes with it, keep listening. Together, let's change the conversation and take it to the next level. My name is Therese Perez and I'm the founder of myvirtualchangemanager.com. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm recording on Tharawal country and pay my respects to the traditional owners and custodians on the land on which I am recording, to elders both past, present and emerging. Well, welcome to 2025. How exciting. I had actually tried to record this at the end of 2024, starting to project into 2025 and what was going to happen this year. And I realised how tired I was. I listened back to that recording and I thought, wow, I really, really needed a holiday. And I decided to record it again because I have far more energy after a break. And some of the episodes this month that I'll be talking about will be all about how you can pace change in for yourself if you found that you were very tired at the end of 2024. It seemed to be a common theme with everyone who I spoke to over the festive break and the holiday break around how in need of a break they were. But now we're in 2025 and it's an exciting year. I'm very excited about it all because there's so much going on in my virtual change manager space, and I'm hoping that you're going to take an opportunity to jump across to our website, which I have revamped over the festive and holiday break. A few key things happening this year. One being that you'll be seeing a lot more of me this year with our new webinar series, our Change Intelligence webinar series, really ramping up the sharing of information in a practical way with you. And with anyone who wants to upskill in the world of change, how to manage change, how to cope with change in some ways, as an individual, as a leader, for teams and for organizations. It's very, very critical that we're leaning into this change conversation more now than ever. And in 2025, what am I going to predict around the challenges of change? Will they really be different? Or will it really be just a case of how serious are we getting about this change conversation from a strategic standpoint, but also from an efficiency standpoint in organizations? This year could be the year that you step into the change space to be able to manage and create resilience in your organization. And I'm hoping it really is. That's why doing the webinar series and also offering some live courses throughout this year to help build that resilience with yourself, with leadership, with anyone who's looking to implement or influence for new ways of working in a positive way. So what are we seeing thematically? Well, cost of living, economic pressures. I do want to talk about this on the macro level because this is going to be another year where no doubt that is going to be quite prevalent for people across the world and the globe. It's not just something unique to Australia. It is definitely something that is globally felt. And this puts pressure on individuals, it's putting pressure on organisations, it's having organisations need to consider how they respond to the economic pressures when inflation rates are high, which means the cost to produce items, produce and deliver goods and services is high. And so therefore they're trying to see where they can add value and minimise their cost base. Obviously, short-term thinking would be, well, let's have an impact on team members, like cut operational expenses, but that's a short-term gain to focus in that area and will have long-term implications if not managed well. And if you're finding that your employee engagement results are in fact tanking, so heading in the opposite direction to your leadership engagement results, this is the year you need to address that. And we're going to be talking about that this year as well. Ways and practical ways in which you can affect your culture change, transformation through developing change intelligence, through to change wisdom in your organisation. This is the year. So economic pressures are going to be quite profound for organizations. It's going to remain. However, then we also have innovation that's knocking at the door through AI. It's going to highlight organizations and tech areas in organizations where there may need to be better infrastructure from a technology perspective to enable AI within an organization. And obviously, Microsoft Copilot has been released and rolled out. And I say rolled out, I'll be kind of doing the bunny ears around rolled out, because in some organizations it's just appearing, yet there seems to be no strategy, no communication around it, how it can be utilized. And indeed, there are key critical tech frameworks that need to be in place for AI to be enabled in organizations, and where knowledge management, records management, data management is going to be highlighted. Because if that hasn't been addressed, that is going to be a precursor to an organization really being able to fully utilize AI. So once again, change is going to happen in their space. Now, through my holiday break, as I tend to do, because I very much enjoy talking about business and organizations, I had a few conversations with friends and family around this on the break about how organizations, the capability within organizations will need to change to match AI and development. And this isn't just about job loss, as there seems to be, as there always is, a lot of panic about the whole Terminator concept that the machines are going to take over. It's a fear-based conversation, obviously, and one that's not warranted when you actually consider about how people should be upskilling in their capability. There will be new jobs and roles created as part of this AI landscape being introduced in organizations. And I would like to think that throughout 2025, that conversation is going to be highlighted more and more around the changing skill sets and capability requirements for various job roles in organizations. Now, from a change perspective and from a change leadership perspective, even from a project or program management and sponsorship perspective, when you talk about the leadership cohort in organizations, that conversation is absolutely going to continue this year, if not more than ever, around the need for leaders to be skilled in these areas, to be able to create, build, generate performance from their teams in any sort of changing landscape. Change is the one constant in organizations, and with technology and the information age that we live in, change happens faster and faster, but it doesn't necessarily mean that change is happening well and being introduced well into organizations. And so wastage insofar as your program portfolio or continuous improvement portfolio, or even just basic projects that you're looking to roll out, when not embedded and then just continually transacted upon, you're going to have your engagement results crash and burn. You are going to absolutely have it where you are going to need to look at your talent retention, because no doubt you're going to have turnover as a result of poorly managed change within organizations. And so if not addressed, and if that capability is not really looked to be a focus area around how to upskill the leadership, especially middle management, on the ability to lead change, implement change, as well as looking at your change ecosystem. If you haven't heard the term around your change ecosystem, I'll put a link in the show notes around a different podcast episode that I've taught, where I talk about the change ecosystem and some of our articles on our website. But certainly the change ecosystem, especially internal communications, and the effectiveness of those channels is going to really be highlighted as part of the need to upskill and manage change well in your organization. So like most things, everything is connected. And one of the key things this year, as change really comes to the fore this year, where efficiencies are really being looked at in organizations, innovation may be looking to expand in the form of AI tools, then you are going to need to improve the change capability within your organizations. Now, if you're in a space of leadership, you're going to know that every single day as a leader in an organization, there's change coming through, or there are major projects or programs taking place in your organization that may impact your team. And the ability to communicate that effectively to your team members is something that is a skill that you can develop and an awareness around how you can manage and engage your people through that process and get performance from your people as part of an outcome through connection and engagement with your people is really, really important, and a skill that is in high demand. That contributes to the talent aspect. It used to be that many managers and leaders were promoted because of their expertise in the subject area that they worked in, promoted up the chain. When getting into middle management and potentially even higher, it comes down to the ability of a leader to create a team, to form a team, maybe not in their subject matter expertise, but in the forming of ways of working, how to organize workflow, how to ensure there's efficiency in that, how to ensure that they're developing their people in that, getting the right mix of expertise around in the team to be able to deliver strategically is one of the key areas for leaders to develop for themselves. Now, if you're a leader listening to this and you're listening to this to build your own change expertise, I applaud you for investing in yourself in the form of focusing your time to understand how do you do it better? How do you engage your people better? How do you take them through that change cycle where they are having buy-in to the outcome you're looking to achieve in a genuine and authentic way? And that is really quite key versus what we see oftentimes and many, many times is the spin doctoring that might happen, the difference between what I say and what I do as a leader. Those things are noticed from top down, and they're unavoidable that people will disengage with leadership in an organization if that is the case, because people are seeking and aspiring to more than ever before good, sound leadership, authentic leadership, and ensuring that they're valued in the process of the value they provide. And so it's a win-win versus a win-lose where I'm bringing value to the organization, but I'm really seeing nothing back from it as a result of the behaviors they're witnessing or seeing and the treatment of other people within an organization, perhaps. A few things to think about. They will be common themes this year. Technology, how that's going to move us even beyond what we could imagine at this point in time within organizations. The data landscape and the tech landscape to enable that is going to be quite key. It's not as simple as, oh, we've got an app, let's introduce it into our organization. The tech architecture, the frameworks in place, the ways of working in the tech space are going to be more and more highlighted as being either strengths of an organization or deficient in an organization. The economic pressures are going to be very prevalent this year, and as a result of that, efficiency. Many organizations are going to say, how can we save money in the production of our services or the products that we produce? And it has to be more than just people-based operational cost savings as part of that discussion, which says, how do we actually deliver change efficiently so that we can realize the benefits of our portfolio of work? There'll be a reason why you've signed up to it in the first place. If not, it's worth doing a stop, start, continue on your portfolio of work at this point in time to see if there's anything that absolutely doesn't need to be done now. And the subsequent conversation around the pacing of change and how you're going to implement change into your organization this year has to be one where efficiency is top of mind, getting the best bang for buck that you are investing into your change portfolio. I think that's most of the key things this year. It will be the same as always, pressure on leadership. Pressure on the multiple levels of leadership, perhaps within your company or organization. Leadership capability will still be the conversation this year. However, the question you need to reflect upon, or that you should be reflecting upon, is what are we doing differently? Year on year, you do need to do things differently to get different outcomes. You would have had and achieved things last year within your team, within your organization, within your program portfolio. But this year, what is going to be different and how is it going to be different? What lessons did you learn last year and who are you going to be in that? I think that's the real key thing every year that every person in an organization should be reflecting upon. I achieved what I achieved last year by being who I was being at that point in time. There may be something different you want to achieve this year, an outcome, the experience that you're going to have this year, but how will it be different? How will you show up differently? Always good to reflect and question that at the beginning of the year and consider where you want to end up at the end of this year, doing a bit of the Stephen Covey, beginning with the end in mind, and consider what does the end of this year look like. And I hope that you are considering these elements for 2025 in relation to your role, your team, your organization, and how you're going to contribute to that journey this year. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, it's Therese here again. I just wanted to mention that we have the Change Intelligence webinar series happening this year, and you don't want to miss out on any of the topics that we're going to cover. It's a live webinar series talking about change resilience, change frameworks, connected thinking, how you can change your mindset and the mindset of others, behavioural change and what that can offer. If you don't want to miss out, then come to myvirtualchangemanager.com. Just simply register and we'll let you know when the next webinars are happening so that you can come along. Spaces are limited, so be sure to jump across and register as soon as you can, and you'll see some of the topics that we're going to cover. I hope to see you there and to continue to work with you to create positive change experiences.